And welcome everybody to the WyoSports video blog as we preview the University of Wyoming football program going to Fresno State this week. We're inside the IPF. Nice little indoor facility. Warmer in here than outside.
A little warmer. It's getting a little breezy, getting a little cooler. I think they need to take advantage of this, and I know we certainly did today.
Absolutely. You know, the Cowboys coming off the border war loss, 45-31 to Colorado State on Saturday, but I think even the bigger news, all the injuries that came out of that game, it seems like Wyoming just can't get out of their own way when it comes to injuries. More players lost this week, both to injuries and to players deciding to leave the program.
Yeah, it's, kind of when it rains, it pours. Now Wyoming's down its top two running backs with season-ending injuries more than likely. Sean Wick hurt against Colorado State in the first series. DJ May hurt last week in practice. Maybe a bright spot from the border war loss was the play of Brian Hill, the true freshman running back with 121 yards, 28 carries, 2 touchdowns, ran pretty hard, pretty physically, and seemed to really kind of hold his own for being a true freshman, as being the third guy most of all season with limited reps. That was impressive, and we're going to get to see a lot more of him and a lot of other guys, as you mentioned, Scott, with the injuries, particularly at linebacker. I mean, we're going to see, with Malcolm Muhammad was Mark Nazaj's replacement. He's out with an elbow injury. We're going to see Jeff Lark now. We're going to see Devin Harris play numerous positions. We could see Alex Borgs some in the middle. We could see who knows who we're going to see.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of options for Wyoming there, but and in the secondary, no Jesse Sampson this week. He was Darren White's replacement, who was lost for. I mean, we go on and on about this and take up the whole 10 minutes of this video with injury news, but they're decimated. You know what? It is a next man up mentality, but you know what? When you have this many injuries, there's only so much you can do. And as Craig Bull said on Monday in his news conference with the media, we got to put the right people in there to set them up to have the most success. And who those people are going to be in a lot of respects, we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, going to be a big week in practice this week, kind of finding out who those players are. The offensive injuries, I think maybe they can overcome. I mean, with a Brian Hill and along the offensive line. But I'll be honest with you, Robert, I'm worried about this defense because not only are you sliding those other players in now, but who backs them up when they need a breather or if something else happens? I mean, the depth on the defense has gotten practically nothing right now.
In a lot of respects, it wasn't the deepest anyway. You might have had bodies, but now it's guys that don't have a lot of experience, or some guys maybe playing some new positions. I know, a guy like Devin Harris, the linebacker, he's played every linebacker position on this defense and the previous staff's defense. He's going to learn multiple things, multiple positions this week. It's Lucas Waka, a guy who played a lot last year, playing more now this year. He's probably going to have to learn multiple things. I mean, you just got to put your best guys out there and do the best you can. You only got so many days and time during the day. NCAA rules, you can't practice 15 hours a day.
Right.
You can get in what you got to get in. I think a lot of it too will be not just what they do on the field, but the mental reps, the film study, the meetings, getting these guys. You still got to translate it on the field, but what they learn mentally is going to be huge.
Cowboys make the West Coast trip again this week, head out to Fresno State. Late start time here. Fresno State in the exact same boat. They're 3-5, just like Wyoming, although they are better in their conference right now than Wyoming is. Just your thoughts about it. It hasn't been the easiest of spots for Wyoming to go to.
No, never won in Fresno. They're 0-4 all time. But this isn't the Fresno State team we've seen that won the division, won the league last year. The record is not good, but look, they've played Utah, Nebraska, USC, and got handed to it. They got it handed to it. Losing to UNLV a couple weeks ago on the road was a little bit of a surprise, but there's still athleticism there, there's still skill there, and there's still speed there. And if Fresno can put that together, they're going to have a new quarterback. Zach Greenlee, a redshirt freshman, is going to get the start. That'll be interesting, but Josh Harper at receiver is one of the best in the Mountain West. Martez Waller is one of the better running backs, although I don't know if Fresno has used him quite as well as maybe it should. It might with a new quarterback. There's still plenty to be concerned with on that Fresno State side. Defensively, Ron Smith was the preseason defensive player of the year in this league. Now, one guy doesn't make that much difference, but there's still ability there. But I do think if Wyoming can sustain drives, it's a lot of the same things. Sustain drives, be more consistent. I think there's opportunities for them to have success, but it just can't be in spurts. It can't be 21 fourth quarter points when you're down 28 at the end of the quarter. It's got to be more consistent if Wyoming has any chance.
And don't you think they have to find a way to start faster? I mean, that's been the kind of key in these games. They get down so fast, and then you have to throw it. And, yeah, maybe they have been doing better throwing the football, but when you're down 21 points, it doesn't do any good to play that grind it out 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of football. So it's a fast start is a key.
Fast start, or even just a solid start. Don't dig yourself an early hole. And as Wyoming won games in the past, keep it close in the fourth quarter to give yourself a chance. I mean, you can get a big lead, great. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but at least keep it close to give yourself a chance in the fourth. Again, it was encouraging to see some of the offensive numbers last week and late in the game. Again, when the game is already out of hand, does it mean much? Hopefully Wyoming can ride off that, but hopefully they can be more consistent with it throughout the game.
Well, this Saturday, two desperate teams. Teams both need wins if they want to keep their bowl hopes alive. Does Wyoming have anything left in the tank at this point in terms of players or emotions to go out there and win this game?
That's a good question. I do think they still got a little bit left in the tank, and I do think this is going to be a pretty competitive game. But 7 straight road losses, I just think it's going to be tough. I know Fresno probably has a sense of urgency as well. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs in this, but it's going to be a fairly close one. I'm going to go Fresno State 27, Wyoming 21. Wyoming's going to give itself a lot better chance to win, but I think it's going to come up short.
I think the exact same thing. I think it's going to be a much closer game, but I think in the end, being at home, being emotional for them, knowing that they still could play for a conference championship if they win this game, I'm picking Fresno State 24, Wyoming 17.
Well, we've been wrong before, and we hope we're wrong again in this case. But that'll do it for this week's edition of the WyoSports video blog. For more University of Wyoming sports coverage, check out the Wyoming Tribune Eagle and Laramie Boomerang, and also wyosports.net. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and happy Halloween.